you can hit the ball in here.
Straight up.
All right. Big Dodger guy.
Dodgers.
TJ Woods.
Big Dodger guy?
Yeah, I was a lot happier 2 days ago. You know, this feels. I don't know if I'm important enough to be in this setting, guys. Are you sure there's somebody else you guys would rather talk
More
to?
important than any of us.
I don't think that's true either.
Fire away.
I wanted to ask you about, well, a lot of us did, about Bruce Mitchell and what he's doing and how impressive it is that he's been able to step in and play pretty flawlessly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty phenomenal what he's been able to do, and you know, it's a testament to Bruce, obviously, his character. You know, we got Bruce in the spring from the defensive line, and he was willing and able and was all in from the jump. You know, all throughout the winter, Connor Pay spent a lot of time with him, trying to get him ready, trying to get him caught up. And, you know, I think Connor's doing a heck of a job with him right now, trying to be, you know, we call him Coach Pay right now because he's doing a heck of a job keeping putting Bruce under his wing and helping him out. But it's been a tremendous kind of performance last week for Bruce, so we're excited about it.
What's the key to making that type of transition,
TJ? Selflessness. You know, I think Bruce is he's a selfless guy, man. He's a team-first guy. He'll do whatever anybody out here asks him to do for this team, and he's done that from day one. Didn't matter, center, guard, out, you know, D-line when he played D-line last year. Everything we've asked Bruce to do, he's done it, and you know, never said a word when he wasn't getting what he wanted when he wanted it. Just kept working, kept developing. And I think the other thing that's unique about Bruce is there's no moment too big for Bruce. You know, he's pretty even-keeled. You know, he acts medium most of the time, and I think that obviously helps him out in those settings. You know, he wasn't nervous. He was just ready to execute and go out there and play a good game.
What's that like as a coach when you see a player handle those moments? Because, you know, that's a big game, and, you know, all the attention and taking over for Connor. There's a lot of things to maybe make a guy tighten up a little bit, but it sounded like from what Jake was saying, he was pretty loose before that game and played that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, it's inspiring as his coach too, to be honest. You know, I remember, it's been a long time now, but I remember when I was playing and you know, I got nervous at times. You know, I think that's part of the deal. And I'm sure deep down there's some of that for Bruce, but never let anybody sense that or feel that or any of that. Just I think he's got extreme confidence in himself, and he trusts his preparation, right? And then I think that goes for the entire group. You know, when you prepare to win, you expect to win, and you know, you go out there with that expectation, and practice performance is game reality. And if you can do it out here on this practice field, then we all fully expect you to be able to do out on the game field, and I think that's what you saw.
Do you expect Sonny Macassini to be back in the lineup?
He's still questionable. We'll see how that all goes. Yeah.
When Bruce went out for that first snap, were you holding your breath at all, or
no?
Because that's kind of the litmus test of that first snap, kind of.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. There's been many times in my career where I have been holding my breath. I wasn't that way at all with Bruce. I don't think anybody was. You know, we joked about it after, like, you know, a lot of times when backup linemen are in, you know, when you're thinking about what plays to call or what positions to put the players in, you know, you have to kind of be cognizant of, you know, maybe a certain player, right? Like, oh, well, maybe we can't do that to this guy because we don't want to, you know, put him in a tough spot. I mean, we called the game the same exact way we would have with anybody else in there at center. I mean, there wasn't ever a thought of, well, we got to protect Bruce here or do this, do that. I mean, we just basically ran our offense, and again, that's a testament to him.
Through 6 games, what is your general feeling with how the offensive line has played, and, you know, given with what happened to Connor and all that, just overall?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of positives. I still think we're a work in progress. I think we have a lot of room to grow. You know, I think that we show flashes at times of I think what we can be up front, and I think the biggest challenge for us right now is just building, you know, being consistent, being able to do it. You are what you do repeatedly, and you know, I think there's, you know, too many times where it's really good, really good. Oh crap, that's not ideal, you know. I think the best O-lines I've been around are the ones that the team knows exactly what they're going to get. You know, the coordinator knows exactly what he's going to get, and you can consistently do your job. That's really what we're striving for, and you know we're at the halfway point, right? And there's a lot more football to be played, and we're excited to continue to improve and grow.
I think you've only given up 5 sacks, which is good, but there's also the coach in you that probably says that's 5 too many.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, the pass protection has been a positive. You know, there's a lot of factors that go into that. You know, I think the first thing is you know, Caleb and Braden have done a great job on the edges. That's usually where the breakdowns occur. They've done a tremendous job on the edges, and you know, sacks is a team stat. You know, it takes a quarterback to know when he's hot, when he needs to get rid of the football. You know, it takes receivers to get open and get open in a hurry. It takes running backs to help in protection. It takes tight ends to help in protection. We have a lot of tight end protections in this offense, and then I think our offense helps us out that way too. You know, there's a lot of protection variation. So I think, like I said, it's a team stat, but I'm pleased with how we protected the passer so far.
You're facing an Oklahoma State team that hasn't lived up to its expectations, but it's coming off a bye week and probably be hungry. What do you expect to see? What challenges does their defense present this week?
Well, first of all, I expect their very best. I mean, those guys have been coaching there for a long time, and they're dang good, and they've won a lot of games there, and they have good players. They are very talented on the defensive front. They fly around. I think they have good scheme. They have an aggressive scheme on defense. They're not afraid to take chances. So I expect them to be at full steam ahead when they show up here on Friday night, and I expect us to do the same thing. I think it's going to be a heck of a battle.
It's fun to have the target in that sense.
No doubt.
You know everybody's going to come bring it because you guys have that target.
Yeah, no question.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Always good to talk
Jake?
to you.
What's up, guys?
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been over here.
Yeah, you usually have to just do it after the game.
Yeah.
There you get the table. Here you're here all set up.
Yeah.
Talk about getting ready for this week. You're facing an Oklahoma State team that's not lived up to their expectations, but coming off a bye. What do you see from them as you're getting ready for this game?
Really talented team at every level, at every position. They got some guys who fly around and make plays, and so this is a game where we know we're going to get all of what they got, and at the same time, this is a game where we remember late November. We remember that, so we're coming out ready this week because we know we own one.
You touched on it a little bit right there, but this is the first Big 12 team that you faced last year, and it feels weird to say that. 4 games in a conference play, I guess. Is this a little bit of maybe a litmus test for how much you guys have grown from last season?
Yeah, I guess maybe a little bit, but I don't know. Oklahoma State's still a really good team, and they can still do some really good things, and I know we're a really good team. I don't know if this is going to be that's a funny way to put it. I haven't thought of it like that, but maybe it is. I don't know, but this is a lot different team, and I think the Oklahoma State team is playing a lot different too this year. So it's hard to compare year to year because guys are in and out and stuff like that. But you know, we know we got to be ready for this week because this is a team that's got a lot of talent, and Gundy's got, I know, a great record coming off a bye week.
What are some of the challenges of playing on a short week with, one fewer practices?
You got to be accelerated. Every day in the week is moved up, basically starting on Monday. Monday practice, we usually have a quick walkthrough. Instead, yesterday it was a practice, and then today is a long practice. And so, yeah, you just got to be ready. A little more film work early in the week than usual. Kind of dove into it Sunday, Monday more, and then it's Tuesday, but it's really Wednesday for us.
Jay, kind of a off the field question, but what is it about your upbringing or just that prepared you to kind of become like the voice that you have become for BYU football and the face of BYU football in a way?
That's a good question. I don't know. Just being confident in myself is the number one thing. Being confident going out there and just giving the credit out to everybody else. Because I said this in the post game, but too much credit is given to the quarterback because it is all the guys around me that makes everything happen. So just knowing that, being conscious of that is something that I was taught early, and realizing it true for it to be true. Like it's one thing to say, it's another thing to believe it. And so that's something I believe. And so, when it comes to leading stuff, I know you got to lead from the front and do the tough and hard things when you got to. I know that's kind of where I start because I'm always going to get in the grind, and then leading with positivity and giving the credit where credit's due.
Some of your predecessors like Tanner Mangum and Max Hall just used to talk about what the mantle is of being the starting BYU quarterback, like around town, in class. Have you kind of noticed that, maybe the attention you get or anything like that?
Yeah, I think this last week was kind of the most evidence of that with all the specials that came in town with CBS and ESPN Game Day and that stuff. And so that plus, you'll walk in the hallway and students will be yelling at you, great game or good luck this weekend. And so that's a cool deal. I just embracing it and going with the flow and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you definitely feel it on campus. I'll be walking with a bunch of my teammates and you'll still get people calling my name out, saying good job or saying good luck. It's a pretty cool deal.
I did want to ask about, being able to highlight your faith, playing on Yom Kippur, and all, what that was like for you last Saturday with all of those things.
It was really special. It was really fun. It was a great afternoon. That's the best way. I mean, I can't put into words the feelings on the field, especially post game. I was talking to Greg Wrubell on the post game show, and he just highlighted that for me, and it was special. Definitely a special day.
Last question, if any.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Jake.
See you.
Okay, my turn.
You're up.
All right, what's up, guys?
That's for last.
Oh no, I don't know about that. Far from that.
We were
Okay.
just talking how, as media, we love the Friday night games because we get the weekend off, but or kind of off. As a coach, do you prefer Friday or Saturday, or does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, Saturdays I think are what college football is supposed to be played on, but a change up here and there I think is good too. So it doesn't matter to us.
So you look at this Oklahoma State team. You guys faced them last year and didn't go the way you wanted it to go. What did you learn from that game that you're applying this year?
Well, I think that was one of those games that was a huge jump start to how we're playing this year. I think we felt like after Oklahoma and Oklahoma State that we could hang in there with any teams in the Big 12. I think we learned that you can play great for one half, but you better be ready to go for 60 minutes in this league. The physicality we kind of wore down a little bit late, and whether it was backups or whoever, we didn't play the way in the second half as we did in the first half. So you truly got to play 60 minutes in the Big 12 to pull off wins. Yeah, I mean, I think that was all a huge jump start to us. As far as this year goes, it's very similar offensive line, same running back, same top wide receivers, same quarterback. So there's a lot of offensive personnel that is exactly the same from that really good unit that played for the Big 12 championship last year. And we know what their skill sets are. We know how they physically play. That should help us in this year's game.
Does it concern you that Ollie Gordon really hasn't gone off yet? It's gonna come.
Well, he's a phenomenal player, and he ran for over 1,700 yards last year. The guy's a phenomenal player. He is one that you have to game plan for, and we got to be ready for him to have his best game. We got to assume that that's what's going to happen. And the offensive line, those guys are great. I mean, they all played last year, so we got to be ready with our A game.
You guys focus on forcing turnovers and have been very successful at that. How much of the success of the defense hinges on getting those takeaways, or is it just what has happened that has kind of enabled you to do other things?
Well, I think we've been running our defensive philosophy. For the most part, things have been clean. I don't know that it's always, maybe as stout as I would like it to be at times or as clean as I would like it to be at times. But for the most part, I think the guys have really bought into what we're trying to do. They've done a good job in the secondary of creating looks such that quarterbacks have given us interceptions. And I think the front has done a good job for the most part of taking away the run and forcing them into long yardage situations. So I think we're heading in the right direction. I think we got a long ways to go for us to be executing it where I think we can.
What was impressed you the most about Isaiah Glasgow through 6 games?
Well, he's a playmaker. We knew that. He's long and he's athletic. He's really bought into what we're asking him to do. He takes hard coaching and he's applied it, and he just gets better and better each week.
The weather's supposed to change drastically. Is that something that's in the game plan at all?
Well, it should be for us. We should be a cold weather team. I mean, we're used to living at altitude. We're used to cold weather. We're used to playing spring ball practices in the rain and sleet. And so whatever comes at us, that, in my opinion, should be our advantage.
Coach Woods was talking to us a little bit about Bruce Mitchell and pulling him over from the D-line to the O-line. Obviously, it worked out pretty well with his first start at center. Do you recall any of those conversations when they kind of wanted to move him, or kind of what they were saying, what they looked at him like?
Well, absolutely. I mean, Bruce was playing for us last year on the defensive line, but I really felt strongly that he'd be a better offensive lineman than maybe his role on defense. And I'm glad to see him get his opportunity because he's a great kid. He's a phenomenal worker. He's tough, and I know Coach Wood loves him, and he just played lights out. So kudos to Bruce for being ready to go.
What were those attributes that why you would look
Well,
at him
he's
and say
strong. He plays with leverage. He can get his pads down. He's intelligent, which offensive linemen have to be. He had the attributes that I thought would correlate well to that side of the ball.
Did he remind you of anybody that you coached that you also moved from the D-line to the O-line and it's worked?
Well, we've had a lot of those. Suo Peta right now starts in the NFL. He was a defensive lineman that moved over. Chris Kimoyatu, when we were at the University of Utah, was a defensive lineman that moved over. I mean, there's a list of 10. You catch me off guard, but those two come to mind for sure. Okay, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night, guys. Too.
So Gurney's not.
So here's the thing. Then I asked him, like, so did he tell you that he was? I don't know. I just assumed he was out for the whole week. I was like, this is when I say, look at the vacation days. What does the vacation day say? And he pulls up at, well, yeah, of course. So I tell him, I was like, what is the way he should know because he's on his doc, and it's his doc. He looks it up.